Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. It's Kelly. Today we're going to go over my Milwaukee Packout setup. Milwaukee Packout is a super popular tool put out by Milwaukee. Most everybody's aware of it. There are several different other brands, but my tool of choice is Milwaukee. We're going to get it out today. I've got two different versions. I got my used version that I use every day. Not every day, but I use as needed. This is the one, it spent time in the back of the truck. It's been rained on. Had frost on it. I actually work and do things out of this box. Well, a lot of the guys you see reviewing on YouTube, no disrespect to them, but they have all brand new packouts, brand new equipment. Milwaukee or whomever sent them to them, they're reviewing them. They've got all brand new stuff. Let's look and see what my old stuff, how the lids work on old ones. Let's see how the wheels and the handles work on some of the old ones. So I do have my old one. I also have a new stack here. This one I haven't put anything in yet. Caught them on sale, US Tool. My helper's here. Caught them on sale, maybe through it was US Tool. I don't remember, online deal on sale. So I stocked up on those. Those will be utilized. But today we're focused on the ones that I actually use, the dirty ones. The ones that's been drugged through some dirt, mud, and gravel driveways and all. So what we're going to do is look at this, look at some of the aftermarket accessories that I bought that are not Milwaukee, but still good accessories. And really what I want to show you is what I carry in my pack out, and kind of how I utilize mine.
Brief intermission.
Okay, first let's talk about my added on outside accessories. Of course, the accessory market for the Milwaukee Packout system is huge, but again, this is what I use. This is what works for me. First, I think this comes from Amazon, is a nifty extension cord holder. Of course, we can always wrap up our extension cords and put into the big box. But then a lot of the times you put other tools in there and you go to pull just your cord out and it's wrapped around everything. We've all experienced that. That's very aggravating. This, I think that's a 25-foot extension cord. Probably room for a 50-foot one if you wrap it pretty tight or maybe have a smaller gauge. This is I don't know, what is it, a 12-3, 25-foot cord, which is just right for most small handyman jobs. Machined aluminum, Allen head cap screw. You pull these little sidebars out, put them in, slide them in, put it where you want it, tighten them down. They won't go anywhere. I've had those on, and they're red, Milwaukee red. I've had those on there for months. No issues, no problems. I've kind of beat and banged them around. They've never offered to break. Again, they're made out of aluminum. So a pretty good product there. We'll add a link in from Amazon here. Okay, it wasn't a link, it was a screenshot, but maybe you can get the information that you want off of that if you're interested in getting some of those. The second part, these come from Etsy. Again, we'll insert a link or a screenshot here. Boop. And this is really cool. This is a square, framing square and level holder. These are 3D printed. Don't be scared of the 3D printed. These are pretty, again, they've been beaten, banged around. These are pretty strong, but they'll hold your framing square, your level, your other square. They pretty well go on the same way. Slide everything down in. 3D printed, goes in the same way. A couple of set screws, black plastic. I think they offer them red, maybe yellow if you have a DEWALT equivalent to this, something like that. But this is another great accessory for the Packout. Again, it's not Milwaukee, it's aftermarket. These are Etsy. This is Amazon. But it wouldn't bother me to buy those again. And I'll probably, if I set that other new Packout set it up similar to this one, but for other types of jobs, I'll probably have something similar to these on there as well. Okay, that was the side accessories. Now let's take a look at what I have in the top two trays. This is about a 2-inch deep tray. This one's about 3 inches. These are divided trays. Milwaukee Packout brand, of course, theming of the video. So let's open them up and look and see what I carry in my trays. They're not tools. I mostly carry fasteners in these. Let's see what kind of fasteners that I carry. The trays, we all know Packout. The trays, they're all divvied up very well. They have little dividers in them. I just messed that one all up. But you guys have Milwaukee Packout. You already know what the deal is there. But here's what I carry in mine. I do carry some wire nuts because you get into electrical jobs. Sometimes you have to move conduit or Romex, whatever you got to move. Have some cable staples on there. You can use those for a few different things. Some roofing nails, finishing nails, some furniture type screws. I call them furniture type screws. Don't knock me on the terminology of some of these fasteners, but I do know that. Of course, good old nails. Who uses nails anymore? I use them a few times. In the middle, I have a good flashlight. You never know when you'll need a flashlight. Good Bushnell flashlight. I have assorted drivers. You always need a big 1/2-inch drill bit to ground around with things. Got some GRK deck screws. Different drivers, different bits, some extended bits. Just some things. Of course, Milwaukee brand on some of those. Good stuff, but that's what I carry in this one. Now let's go over to the other one. Also, in case you don't know Milwaukee, the gasket on these work really well. I have left these out in the rain. These gaskets are great on these. And as you can see from the yellowing on this thing's been outside some. I mean, it's set outside. It's been in the sun. It's been rained on a few times. Not a drop of rust in here. These things work well. Now let's go over to the other one. This one's a little deeper. It has bigger cups in there and more more bulk fasteners in these. These are just some, I think these are number 10, 3.5 or 3.25 inch deck screws. Large bulk of construction type fasteners. Again, some GRK stuff. Some more of the big heavy deck screws. These have a number 30 T30 drive on those. Of course, as we know, a lot of our smaller fasteners these days are T25s. This one is a T30, so I do have, oh, there's my snap-on T30 bit. I've been looking for that on a Milwaukee 3/8 adapter. Works pretty good, but I just kind of keep all that together. Of course, I do have a gap in my Torx bit set now because that's in there, but that's okay. We can work through that. Again, great gasket. This one's been outside as well. Love the removable trays. You can take this to wherever you're working, but it works good. This one's clean. I don't use as much stuff out of this one unless I'm doing big jobs. And if I do, I'll usually just take the tray out and shut the lid so it doesn't get full of sawdust. I say that, and that one has sawdust in it. So again, like I said, this is a used Milwaukee Packout set. This is not the Camera Queen, brand new stuff from Milwaukee, the ones that they spec out just for reviews and all. This is the ones that are used every day. Let's go back over here to this one just a second. Let's see if there is any sawdust in this one. It is. There's some sawdust in there and some grubs and some metal shavings from the drill bits and all that. But like I said, this thing is used every day. It's used every day and serves purpose very well. All the screws stay segregated. Love it. Okay, this is the smaller chest style. Again, review on a used Milwaukee Packout. The grab handle on the bottom, been used quite a bit, still good and sturdy. I have actually picked it up by that. The top carry handle, many miles on it. Been dropped and rocked and flipped and flopped, and still good, solid handle on there. No issues, no cracks. The pins are still good and tight. It's not falling, it's not doing anything wrong. Let's see what's inside of it. I like this right here. It does have a lock or a hole for a padlock to go through. We're in the Memphis area, so we know we need to lock these things up. Let's see what we got in here. Milwaukee multi-cut tool. Super good tool. Since I bought this thing, I've cut all kinds of things with it, and it's had this same blade on there. You guys may be a little more aware of what that blade's called, but it's a Milwaukee. I think it's the one that come with it. Milwaukee brand. Still cuts like butter. Cuts wood, plastic, most anything that you want. I don't know if it'll cut metal, but it will cut all your wood and plastic and all that, so it'll get you out of pickles. This is a bad boy right here. This is the Milwaukee Fuel. This is the hydraulic drive. Oh, they have a fancy name for it. The Surge. Yep, hydraulic driver. The 1/4 inch hydraulic driver. This is probably one of the hardest hitting, quietest drivers that I've owned. And I've owned several. I've owned the Yellow Mustard tools, the Milwaukee Good Stuff, some of the Bosch. And this one will hit hard enough, it'll break the fastener or over sink a screw in wood before you know it. You kind of got to get used to it before you use it too much. And I do run the CP 2.0, and I have some 3.0 batteries that I run on these guys. Oh no, don't judge me. Mustard tools, couple drill sets. Of course, like I said, I actually use these tools. I go places and do things with these. Extra Milwaukee rapid charger. Let's see what we got in here. Slide square. Good slide square. It has its advantages. Good straight edge there. Swanson brand. Tape measure. Chalk line. Corner level. Cheap thing. Hole saw. You never know when you need a great big hole into something. Small Milwaukee square. It has its purpose. If you're doing trim, smaller jobs, get you around a lot quicker. You can stick it in your tool bag. Chalk for the line. Knives. Of course, you always need screwdrivers, pliers, side cutters, ear protection, PPE. Got to have that stuff. Smaller bullet level. Should it be in there by itself? Probably not. But it's a cheap little thing, and it'll probably live if not. Good old wood chisel. Get you in and out of a pickle. Some used tape. Like I said, we use this thing. You can see in the bottom there all the sawdust. I mean, I use this thing, guys and girls. I don't let up on it. Probably could use a good blowout. Sawzall blades for my little handheld hacksaw or sawzall. Look at the teeth gone off that blade. That thing looks like my great Uncle Georgie don't have any teeth left on him. But we'll hold on to it anyway. But this is the mid box, and this is some of the things that I carry in it. Works out really well. Another big blade. All right, let's move on to the bottom box. Okay, and this is the bottom box, the one with the handle and wheels and all. Let's see how that's holding up. The handle, push the button. Everything still works like it should. And this thing is, I bought it used from a guy about 2.5, 3 years ago, and it was pretty worn when I got it. And I've used the heck out of it, and the handle still works great. The same wheels, the same factory Milwaukee wheels. I believe there is an upgrade to some more robust wheels. I don't know if they're Milwaukee aftermarket upgrades or who makes them, but I believe there are some wheel upgrades. Again, all the handles, everything's tight, everything's good, holding up great. Again, this thing's been rained on. It's kind of heavy, and I'm kind of old and kind of chunky. And when I set it out of the truck, sometimes I set it down a bit rough because it is heavy. Sometimes I leave all 4 of them stacked up, and it takes the blows every time. So let's see what we've got inside this. Got the big framing hammer, the big cheap square, probably from Harbor Freight. Works great. Mustard Tools tool bag. It is my opinion, this is one of the best tool bags. Just wrap around belt style tool bags they make. It's one of the best ones I've ever owned, and I've had a few different ones. Mustard Tools finishing saw. I don't care how many saws, skill saws, blades, hammers, chisels you have. Sometimes you just need a little hand saw. It's the 15-inch, 8 tooth per inch DEWALT brand. Very stiff blade, very sharp, still cuts like butter. Got the Milwaukee worm drive. This thing's heavy. It's been in this box since I got this box. It's where it lives at now. Of course, I don't keep the cord rolled up perfectly. Here comes my helper to inspect. But it lives in that box. It hadn't busted the bottom out of that box yet. Works great. Come here, buddy. I keep some heavy-duty gloves in there. You never know. You get into a situation with rusty metal, nasty wood, some questionable things, broken glass, rusty, raggedy, jagged edges, nails. You never know. So those are some roughneck riggers gloves. They work good. Had them for a long time. What else we got here? I don't even know what all we got in here. Got some heavy number 10 3-inch screws. Got some more odd end screws in here. I think some more of those. I don't know why I have those, but I bet those is expensive to buy them that way. But as you see, sawdust in there, another set of jersey gloves just to keep my hands warm, what have you. Rubber gasket holding up great. These latches holding up extremely well. One crick here. Use a little WD-40 on that, but if that's my biggest complaint is a squeaky lid. I think this thing is doing really good for the age that it is. Of course, you can see where it's been riding. It's dirty. It's dusty. It has cobwebs on it. Sometimes it may set a few weeks at a time before I have to use it again. but it's holding up great. And that's what I carry in my Milwaukee Packout set. What do you guys carry? What do you carry differently? Some of you guys carry everything and the kitchen sink. Some of you guys, it probably depends on your vocation. Depends on what you do with it. The plumbers, there's probably plumbers that has plumbing things. Electricians probably have electrical tools in there. I have kind of a mix of things. I think one time I had this thing filled up, multimeters, testers. What was I working on? Something at our local gym that we go to. I was working on some of the electrical things in there. Like I said, I filled it up with, I don't even remember what all. Had all my multimeters, extra wire nuts, fish tapes. I was running stuff and doing things everywhere, and I had it filled up with that. So it's definitely a multi-purpose toolbox, rolling toolkit, whatever you want to call it. But it works great. Holds up really good. And I think my tool set is pretty linear for what we're doing here. I have everything in there. Usually I carry a drill, just a regular Milwaukee cordless drill motor in there, and maybe a couple extra batteries. I took those out for some reason, but that's really it. And as you seen a while ago, my new Milwaukee set over there, I'm going to fill it up as well. Don't know with what, don't know when, but we're going to get to that. Still wrestling with the US General Toolbox swap. That was a lot bigger job than I thought it was going to be, but we are making some headway on that. Still haven't found a top box, but I do have some lines out for some possibilities on scoring something that'll work for that. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. Again, I'm Kelly, doing just fine one. Thanks.